Hello. So, if you have a shop on Facebook or Instagram, you need to be paying attention right now. There are some huge, big changes happening. US getting stuff first, UK, 20 other countries, including those in Europe and Switzerland, are getting things pared down for a while. And then the rest of the world, it seems like it could be being cut off. Let's talk about it. Let's dig in a little bit. So, if you have a Facebook shop, you will have had I don't know what the word is to say, an email. That's the word I'm looking for. You would have had an email like this to show you or tell you about these upcoming changes. I had this email yesterday. It's a little bit vague. It doesn't really say a lot. It's a little bit confusing, if I'm honest. So rather than pay attention to that, I've dug in. I've gone exploring some of these links and I've had a look to see what actually is going on out there. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to screen share. I'll get there in a second. I'm going to screen share some of the pages I've looked at instead. So I've dipped into this one. So all meta pages. So that's from the horse's mouth. So I've dug into this one and it talks about expanding access to AI-powered shops to improve campaign performance. So they kind of talk about here the fact that this is all about improving performance. It's all about driving sales during the current economic downturn. But obviously, this really is about the fact that less people are spending money on Facebook ads right now, and they also need to boost their revenue as well. It's not just done through the heart to be giving it to people. But what they are doing is they're actually bringing in, it sounds to me like some of the things they announced almost before 5 years ago now, when Mark Zuckerberg were really exciting me about the potential and what was coming to Facebook shops. Didn't happen. It's all just kind of like been little bit of a wet rag. But now it looks like it's happening. So they are going to introduce shop ads to thousands of new US businesses to make it easier to purchase directly from ads. But the point here is actually, it might say here on a business website, they don't mean that. They are really pushing checkout through Facebook and Instagram. That's what they want. So they've got all of this information going on. That sounds really exciting and lots of things that are happening. But if we dig into the data, so another link here, scroll back up to the top, changes to shops. This is where we start to get to the nitty-gritty of the detail. So what's changing? US onboarding of new shops will only be with checkout that it happens on Facebook or Instagram. They only want people to be checking out directly on. So this is nothing new with Facebook or Instagram. They like to keep you on the platform. They don't want to send you elsewhere. We already know that links in posts really perform badly. So it's no surprise that this is happening, but now we have the details. To start with, this is US only. Meta will be phasing out onboarding new shops without checkout or Instagram enabled. And beginning the 5th of June, so not far away at all, onboarding new shops via Commerce Manager and Shopify will only be with checkout with Facebook or Instagram enabled. So that's it. They have drawn the line in the sand. They are not going to be letting you check out anywhere else. There is mentioned somewhere else that there are 2 reasons where you will be allowed to check out otherwise, and that will be subscription and omni-channel platforms, but that's it. And by August the 10th, onboarding new shops via other eligible partners, so that would be WooCommerce, for example, will only be with checkout with Facebook or Instagram. So they're not going to basically take people back to your website. Really interesting. At the moment, this is not yet happening in the UK or in Europe or in Switzerland, but it will be coming. They are just rolling out to the US first. So this is your warning. This is your heads up that things are changing. So what will happen to support for shops without the Facebook or Instagram enabled? From the 24th of April 2024, shops without enabled will no longer be accessible, i.e. that's shops that direct people to an e-commerce site to complete a purchase rather than allowing people to make purchase through Facebook or Instagram. So basically, if you're in the US and you have a shop which is checking out on your website and you're using it a lot, if this is one of your main parts that you're using in your business, you need to be making these changes and thinking about it now, unless you're going to swap to the Facebook or Instagram checkout. If you don't want to, who knows? I would never put all your eggs in one basket. It might be good to have as a platform, but I wouldn't have everything on there. That's a little bit scary for me. But if you want to, great, then you're going to go all in, swap as soon as you can, show Facebook that you're interested. They're going to use the organic reach early on in the process, and then this will be swapped. That it becomes, the push goes on to the paid Advantage Plus users only. We know what they like, we know the game they play. So if you're going to use this and use the checkout, jump on that bandwagon as soon as you possibly can. But if you're not, then start to look what other platforms you're going to do, because you are going to lose your shop on Facebook and Instagram from the 24th of April, which is how I'm reading this information. Businesses without checkout enabled shops will no longer be able to use features associated with shops, including organic product tagging and creating new custom lookalike audiences from people who visited a shop. And there you go. There's the exceptions for omnichannel and subscription. 21 international markets in businesses may continue using shops without checkout on Facebook or Instagram enabled. This is Australia, Brazil, Canada, Denmark, France, Germany, India, Indonesia, Italy, Japan, Mexico, the Netherlands, Norway, South Korea, Spain, Sweden, Switzerland, Taiwan, sorry, I missed it, Thailand, the UK and Ukraine. And what's going to happen is they are downsizing what we already get. They are taking away certain features, including storefront, wishlist, and collections. They're taking them away. They say that to support this new simplified and streamlined experience, basically they are simplifying what we've got to make it easier for them to push out this brand new experience once they are ready, once they've gone through the process with the US, once they've worked it all through and taken away all of the issues and the glitches. Well, maybe not all of the glitches. This is Facebook and Instagram. But once they've streamlined it as far as they're concerned, then we will get it. So if you are in any of those countries that I've just read out and you rely on your Facebook or Instagram shop at the moment, and it is one of those things that you go, yes, it's brilliant for me, be aware that unless in the future you want to go to Facebook and Instagram checkout, if you want to keep it to your website, I would start to change your reliance on the platform. If you want to go all in on the Facebook, Instagram checkout, then grab it as soon as it's available. Pay attention to what's happening. See what you can learn from what the US e-commerce shops are doing. Ultimately, this is all heading towards Facebook pushing e-commerce adverts even more, but making sure they keep everybody on platform. We know that this is something they like to do, so this really isn't a surprise. It's just a little bit of a surprise it's taken so long, really. But what about if you're in the rest of the world? Well, from August the 10th, 2023, businesses will no longer be able to host a shop on their Facebook page or Instagram account unless the shop has checkout with Facebook or Instagram enabled in the US. So if you are not one of these countries and you are not in the US, and you have a Facebook shop, it looks like you're possibly saying bye-bye to that shop. Businesses without an accessible shop will no longer be able to use features associated with shop, including product tagging and creating new custom lookalike audiences. So I will pop these links below wherever you're watching this video, so you can come and have a read yourself. What I'm finding also interesting in here is across all regions, Meta encourages businesses to continue using a mix of free and paid tools to find customers and drive sales. Obviously, they want to say the mix, but really they want us all to be progressing to paid. But what they're saying, so we've got the personalized ads first, obviously the paid. But then what they're not mentioning in the free is really what's interesting. They're not mentioning pages. They're not mentioning groups. They're not mentioning carousel posts or just posting in general. They're being very, very specific, and they are saying reels. So that's one's worth taking note of, that from an organic point of view, from a free content point of view, they're really looking at reels right now. And they also want us to be using their messaging systems to connect directly with shoppers. So again, if you're going to go and you want to do this Facebook and Instagram checkout in future, know that you will be using Messenger as well to connect with your customers. It isn't instant. It isn't happening now this minute, particularly not for those in the US. So you have time to bring this in, but it's always worth knowing the direction that you're going in. If you're thinking, oh my word, there's no way I want to have my customers ever checking out on Facebook, and you've got your Facebook shop at the moment, then be aware it's something that you are going to be phasing out of your business, but use it while you can. And if they're in the US right now, whoa, lots of things happening. things to get excited about. So make sure you're taking full advantage, because we all know that when Facebook and Instagram, in fact, any platform really, when they introduce something that's new, they go all in, and that's when you get the best organic reach. That's when you really get a chance to shine. So if you are in the US and you're going for this, make sure you grab it with both hands and you get out there and use it to its full extent. As always, Facebook like to keep us on our toes. That email that came out originally barely touched the surface of it. So there you go. You know what you've got to do. You've either got to go all in or start to think about where your business is going in the future and start to have less reliance on particularly the Facebook and Instagram shop. It isn't to say that posting and social media and building an audience and all of that isn't going to work. I'm not saying that. This is specifically about the shop function on those two platforms. Otherwise, just be very aware that, as always, they are going to be limiting linking out to other platforms, because they really want to keep everybody on Facebook for as long as they possibly can. Right, that's it. I no, I can get my words out. Just wanted to jump on and share that with you. Speak to you soon.